I know, you're in total shock, aren't you? Stuntmen actually exist. And you heard all that publicity that actors do their own stunts. Directors direct their own films. Well, occasionally we work. And here, we're going to jump off the Statue of Liberty. The film's called American Werewolf in Paris. We started in Paris. It ends in New York. What's the connection? Well, the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower, both designed by the same guy, both built in France. The Statue of Liberty was then deconstructed, shipped to America, and then reconstructed in New York. So here is the story of how we jumped off the Statue of Liberty.
So we're just coming up the Hudson into New York. And there's the lady, Statue of Liberty. Now, a lot of people can say they've stood up in the flame room, but not many people can say they've jumped out of it. When Doris Visits Cruise TV said they were coming to New York, I said I'd do a film, because this is quite special. So the Aurora's brought us in, we're in Brooklyn, and here behind me is the Statue of Liberty. Let me tell you, we were never meant to film at the Statue of Liberty. Certainly not to jump out of it, and I was definitely not meant to jump out of it. So this really is a bit of a pilgrimage for me. Anthony Waller's first film, Mute Witness, was a huge success. So he got the chance to make the follow-up to American Werewolf in London, which was American Werewolf in Paris. And we'd finished the movie. It was all done, it was tested, we played it at Cannes, and then they decided the ending wasn't working. So what we did was they decided, that we would have a wedding at the very, very top. Have a look up there, look. It's 305 feet to flame room, and we jumped off.
To jump off something this huge, you need to film it from all the best angles, and that includes the air. So just think of all the permissions we already require, and we're never gonna get permission to jump out of there.
So for the actual jump off, we went to a studio in Amsterdam, and the back was a green screen on which we would project the whole of Manhattan. That's when the problem started. So with the lady behind us, I'm going to walk you through what happens in the story. There's the two of them, the man and the lady getting married, and the ring is passed across, but it gets dropped and it bounces and goes off the edge. So if you just imagine this is the barrier on the throne room, the ring's gone over the edge. So the groom decides to dive over the edge to catch the ring as it drops, and she jumps after him.
The easy bit is the flight. Days and days of hanging on wires and upside down so the clothes hang down. You can see from the body position. Uncomfortable.
So the stunt is to have the guy leap over the wall and then her leap over the wall afterwards.
The barrier, our barrier, in our studio resembles the barrier at the flame room, and our barrier is waist height so we can jump over it. The drop is about 25 feet to concrete, and there's an airbag waiting for them. I say them.
Should be easy. The problem was, as I saw the stunt girl rehearsing, she pulled up. She was a little apprehensive. What we did was we put a small apple box on the floor, about a 1 foot by 1 foot box, so she could use it as a kicker. But I'm worried because at this stage, she's in a tracksuit. She's not even wearing the wedding dress and the long trail. She comes up, steps on the kicker and goes over, which is all fine. But I now need to take the box away to prove she can do it. She says she's ready. Box goes, she comes in, steps and catches her hips on the edge up there, and it breaks her and her face goes round. It wraps round and smashes into the wall. So the stunt girl is now covered in blood, her nose is broken. I'm now short of a stunt girl. I'm in the middle of Amsterdam, I don't have a spare. So the wardrobe mistress comes up to me and starts measuring my chest and figuring out how I'm gonna have to get into that wedding dress.
Now, I hadn't performed a stunt in many a year. I had been coordinating and directing, so this was quite exciting. But this is me and Tony Lucken jumping over the edge and looking for that airbag. It's a good stunt, not a bad film, tongue-in-cheek comedy, American Werewolf in Paris. It happens at the end of the movie. You might be able to catch it on a YouTube link if it's still there, but if not, check out the movie. And also, while you're there, check out the great film from Doris Visits on the Statue of Liberty and the visit to Liberty Island.